we talk about this, and as part of the investigation, of course, it's so important that the police do a great job of interviewing, canvassing. What does canvassing means? Means going around that area to see if anyone's seen this guy. Have you seen this guy on campus? There's pictures all over now. It's important that they post on television. If anyone's had any contact with this guy, if anyone's seen him lurking on other days, we'd appreciate you come in and report it to the police. Tell us what you know, because he could have other victims. And it's important when the chief said this investigation is not over with. That's one of the things and some of the things he means, because you don't want a person like this to have any type of chance to beat this case. And the picture you see on the screen right now, there he is in Times Square in Manhattan. I believe that was last year. And he took an arrest, as I said earlier, in Queens, New York, on September 14th, 2023, for injury to a child less than 17, I guess, and driving without a license. And the picture on the bottom, you see him being taken into custody there by the University of Georgia police. So again, there's another picture of him on the screen of being taken into custody by the University of Georgia police. What does this do to this campus, right? Is everyone now on this campus terrified that this happened, or are they in so much grief that terror doesn't enter into it? I don't know the answers to that. I'm sort of rhetorically asking you guys. He worked for UGA, pretty sure, but they're not saying that. There's no evidence out that he had a job at all. So we don't know the answers to that. When I talk about the victimology, the perpology, his study of his background, we want to know everything about him, right? And we hope that and I'm sure they did, that the police that brought him into custody did a good job of interviewing and interrogating him and getting all information possible on this guy, and then using our law enforcement partners. What does that mean? Well, let's use the FBI. Let's use ICE. Let's use the Border Patrol. Let's use every significant law enforcement agency that may have had some contact with this individual, has some information on him, so that we solidify our investigation and make it that much tougher for a good attorney to represent this guy and have him have any chance of beating this case. JP from the chat, pathetic these current policies forbid cops to call ICE. JP, I 100% agree with you. I think it's really tying the hands of law enforcement. And I think it's despicable, sort of, vanished and forgotten. Do you think this could be related to the Rachel Marin case? Vanished and forgotten? No, I don't. It's very similar. And again, it can't be the same perp, because first of all, they will take DNA from this guy. All right. Antonio will have his DNA taken, and they will put it in CODIS. That's the combined DNA index system. They'll put it in CODIS, and if it matches any other crimes, Jose Antonio Ibarra will be charged for them. But he doesn't look like the perpetrator in the Rachel Marin case. We had video of him, not his face, but there's people, the victims in California from the Rachel Marin case where he did the home invasion, they got a look at his face. And I should have saved the sketch, and I could have compared it, but not that that's. But the what will eliminate him or include him will be the DNA, and the DNA is a positive identifier in a case like this. But it's a very similar MO, and what do I mean by that? A modus operandi. Here he is waiting on a jogging path where a lot of young women are jogging. He's looking for a victim, and he tries to attack the victim, and it's had to have been about a sexual assault. It was not an attempted robbery. People jogging usually aren't carrying money, you know. It wasn't about drugs, as we said earlier. It had nothing to do with that. So, what was the purpose of this attack? It was potentially a sexual assault. And that's why I say it's so important to know more about these individuals than we know. We know nothing about them. They come into this country and they're a blank slate because we're letting them in without any vetting. We don't know who the hell they are, you know? And then to conduct a proper investigation, we don't have the tools to do so, you know? Talks to angels. No, he was likely hunting a victim for his own deviance. Talks to angels, I 100% agree with you. That's what we think this was potentially a sexual assault or an attempted sexual assault. It didn't become a sexual assault because the victim fought so hard for her life and fought this perp. And that's what prevented that. But she lost her life, right? And I said 100%, I think she did the right thing. Fight this savage, you know? PK from the chat. There are video cameras all over that campus, as there are on most campuses, PK, and it's a good thing, you know? It's a good thing that, you know, that's what sort of led to this quick arrest. Zoe 413. I think he may be the guy who killed Rachel Mann. Looks like the same guy. No, it doesn't look like the same guy. And look, Zoe 413, it's the same modus operandi. I 100% agree with that. But they've already probably looked at it, and they could do a CODIS check of his DNA. They undoubtedly swabbed him for a DNA swab, and it's already on its way to CODIS. So he'll be eliminated from contention. Or, you know, if I'm wrong, and the DNA, if the DNA would match if I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I don't think it's the same guy. Everyone's asking me that same question.